Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. And today on the channel I'm going to be talking about a drama horror romance film that just hit in the theaters, Bones and All. The film didn't really do too good with the money aspect this past weekend. Does it really deserve that kind of money that it's been making, or is it a hidden gem? Find out my thoughts next. Bones and All is a story of first love between Maren, a young woman learning how to survive on the margins of society, and Lee, an intense and disenfranchised drifter, as they meet and join together for a 1,000-mile odyssey which takes them through the back roads, hidden passages, and trapdoors of Ronald Reagan's America. But despite their best efforts, all roads lead back to their terrifying past and to a final stand that will determine whether their love can survive. The film stars Timothée Chalamet, Taylor Russell, Mark Rylance, Kendle Coffey, André, Holland, Ellie Parker, Madeline Hall, Kristen Dye, and many others, and was directed by Luca Guadagnino. Going into Bones and All, I honestly just saw the poster and I watched a teaser trailer, and I thought this would be just your typical kind of romance kind of film, but then I heard some rumblings that this film has some horror aspects to it. And actually watching this film, it has to do a lot about cannibalism, which was very interesting to me and kind of shocking to me because I really didn't expect that in this film. I think when the cannibalism scenes are actually in this film, it's very gory, it's very bloody, they're done really well. There's not a ton of them in this film, but there's enough that really does get that horror aspect that you're really looking for in a film. And I think those scenes are done really well. These people, they are cannibalists and they're called eaters. And you have Mark Rylance's character. He plays one of these eaters that Maren actually runs into. And when she bonds with him, they actually eat another person. And his character is kind of creepy, kind of unsettling at times. He's not really in the film as much as I would like him to be. I think he is the best character in this film, but unfortunately because he has smaller part in this film, he doesn't get to shine as much as he should, and I thought he was the best thing about this film besides the actual blood and gore part about the film. The original mission for this film is you have Maren trying to find her mother. And about an hour and 20 minutes, we get a little bit of answers of what happened to her mother and what's really going on with her mother. And then after that hour and 20 minutes, because the film is about 2 hours and 10 minutes, the film, it doesn't feel like it has much of a direction after that. It then tries to shoehorn in this love between Maren and Lee being Timothée Chalamet in this film. And I found both of these characters to be very flat. I felt like they didn't have any chemistry. I felt like there was no developing performances from either of these characters. It just seems like they're meandering on and really not having too much of a purpose. And the film just feels like it's very emotionless and it doesn't have a lot of stake. The origins of the actual story and the motivation for what these characters are actually doing, it just didn't seem like it really made a lot of sense. These characters, they're eaters, but why? Why are these people cannibalists? Where did they come from as far as why they're doing this? And is it something that happens in a family or certain families? What really made them come together and be like, I want to start eating people? Was there something that they were born with? Was it something chemically imbalanced in their family? We don't really ever learn why they're cannibalists. Pacing is really slow. It's a lot of extended nature shots, very much prolonged shots. And yeah, it looks really beautiful and you have some really nice cinematography, but these prolonging of all these kind of artsy kind of shots, it just gets kind of a little bit overdone. And at that point, when we get these artsy kind of shots and even how they chose to actually kind of wrap up this film, they even try to put even more artsy kind of aesthetic as we get towards the end of the film. The progression of the film was just really lacking. There was just a lot of jumbled genres in this film. So you have romance, you have horror, you have light mystery, you have suspense. The tone of the film is really off when you have all these different genres. And when the film is trying to go for this artsy kind of aesthetic and it actually blends in all these different genres, I think it's a little bit too much. I think that it has a hard time really finding its footing throughout the story. And there's no reason why this film needed to be 2 hours and 10 minutes. It just seems like it doesn't have a big purpose. It doesn't have a really big storyline. And I think also the problem with this film is just the marketing for this film. There wasn't a lot of marketing. The poster, it just looks like your normal kind of romance kind of film. I really think there will be people that actually go up to see this poster at the theater and not know anything about this film and think it's a full-fledged romance film, and they're going to be completely shocked when they go to this film and find out that it's not a romance film. And that's the fault of the studio for actually creating this poster and not really actually revealing a little bit more about the genre of this film because it's just too confusing for mainstream audiences, I think. Overall consensus for this film, it just doesn't work for me. I think that Timothée Chalamet, I think he's kind of overrated as an actor, and I haven't seen a film yet that I've really loved him in. Taylor Russell, I've seen her in Escape Room, and I thought she did a pretty good job, but I thought her acting was kind of stale here. Other than Mark Rylance actually stealing the show when he's on screen, I don't really find any other character that I can really hold on to here. There's not really that many characters throughout the film. And to me, this is just kind of a jumbled mess. It's too artsy. It's really boring. I was really bored in the theater. My friend, he was debating if he wanted to see this movie, and he was like, is this something I'm going to enjoy? And I'm like, it's pretty slow. It's a very big, slow burn film. And to me, the biggest problem is it just doesn't have a big mission to it. It just has not a lot of backstory with what these characters or where they're coming from. And that's a big problem to me. I think that you need a little bit of backstory. Why do these characters, why are they doing what they're doing? Are they just doing it because they just feel like doing it? I guess so. But it's just too artsy for me, and it just never really worked for me. And that's why I'm going to give a score of this film a 2 out of 5. If you really want to check out this film, wait till it comes out on streaming. Pay a couple of bucks. Don't pay full price to watch this in theater. I honestly think that some people will probably fall asleep watching this movie. But thank you guys for watching this review, and I'll see you guys on my next review.